Welcome to this video on the Zen Aura channel. My name is Sri Sadguru, Buddha Rawa Bhagwan. Today's video we're going to talk about mantras and sutras. Okay, so you may be familiar with some mantras or some sutras. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about these. So mantras are often a sound, right? A vibration. Okay, and the vibration represents a deity. Okay, so the mantra is the deity, okay, is the technology of the deity, okay, so by practicing the mantra, one can become like the deity, okay, one can get closer to that deity, one can attain the city of that mantra, okay, for it is known that if you practice mantra enough, you attain the city of the mantra, okay, and the city of the mantra is that connection to divinity which empowers you in a specific way once you have mastered that mantra. Right? So the knowledge, the treasure that you gain out of that mantra. Okay? So the mantra is the practice. Okay? The sutra is the teachings. Okay? So the sutra is going to, for example, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, you have Chitta Vritti Nirodha, still the fluctuations of the mind. That is the teaching, right? That is a teaching. So in the sutras, you find the teachings to practice, right? And then in the mantra, you have the practice, right? So the mantra brings you closer to the divine, right? Brings you closer to God or to the deity of the mantra, right? So the mantra essentially is the practice that you practice to become closer to what you're trying to achieve, right? It's the practice. Now the sutra is the teachings. It tells you what to practice, right? So still the fluctuation of the mind. So you see still the fluctuation of the mind is not the same thing as a mantra, right? For it is the teaching and then you have to practice that teaching, right? So there are teachings that are relevant to the sutras, and then there is the practice of mantra, okay? And the sutras are the teachings, but to attain, you also need grace, right? So what brings you closer to that which grants you grace, right? The mantra. But the sutra is going to tell you what to practice to achieve your goals, right? So what happens is you lead to a situation where both are important, okay? Mantra and sutra. Okay, and the way I do this, one is on top, one is on the bottom, is because in French, sutra, su means bottom, okay? And monte means the top, go up, right? Or mont means the top, the mountain, right? So also mantar, so mantra, mantar means the sage, the wisdom, right? And the sages are known to live in the mountains, right? To have attainment, achievement, to have climbed, to have risen, right? So what happens is, it's not only mantra that is important, it is also sutra, right? Both are complementary. So one way of seeing it is that you have two bars, okay? Like a computer game, okay? Let's simplify it. You have two bars, one on top of the other. The one on top is mantra. The one on the bottom is sutra. And as you practice and develop, right? As you practice and learn and practice the teachings of the sutras, you will gain experience in your sutra bar. And as you advance in mantra, you gain experience in your mantra bar. And these are your two experience level bars. And as they progress, you unlock spiritual achievements and attainments in your spiritual journey. These are directly relevant to your growth as a spiritual being, right? So you have all the sutras that exist, which constitute the experience potential of the bottom bar, and all the mantras that exist, which are the experience potential of the mantra bar. So you gain an experience, and you need to progress in both to unlock certain milestones. If you don't progress in both, you don't unlock the milestones, and you stop progressing in one of them. So you need to keep working on both of them, right? The teachings, right? But also the practice. That's a simplified way to see it, right? Okay, so the practice of connecting to the divine, but also in the case of the Yuga Sutras, the practice of finding the divine within you, right? So both are complementary, both are the same, both are one experience system, 2 bars, mantra practice, sutra practice, and both together bring you to that level where you max out your bars of experience, right? Where you have taken in the teachings of the Buddha and you have practiced the mantra, right? And become close to the divine and reach that level where you hit that point where now you are maxed out in experience and ready for the experience of enlightenment. Thank you for listening to this video on the Zen Warren channel.